Petawawa, in the province of Ontario, has been a Canadian military town for over a century. Once a week there is a Red Friday campaign, a small but warm homecoming celebration. Another contingent is coming back to Petawawa after a 6-month stint in Afghanistan.
Large and small.
Master Corporal Jody Middich was unlucky.
For what our men and women in uniform.
He stepped on a landmine in Kandahar province, where most of the nearly 3,000 Canadian troops are stationed.
We were infiltrating into an area, and I was fourth in line, and we went around a corner, and somehow the first 3 guys missed the device, and then I ended up stepping on a landmine that was stacked on top of a mortar round. When your number's up pretty much.
These soldiers have come back from a tough and ongoing guerrilla war with the Taliban. The mission is to keep the militants out and allow Canadian aid groups to build dams, schools, and help with education. Jody wants to pass on his Afghanistan military legacy to daughter Ella.
Well, I want her to be a proud Canadian, which she already is, and I want her to believe in what Canada stands for and what the military stands for, and understand that, serving your community and stuff like that is important.
In towns like Petawawa, support for the Canadian soldiers and their role in Afghanistan is very strong. But when you get away from here towards the major Canadian cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, that's where the doubt begins. Many Canadians are questioning whether it's worthwhile for their soldiers to fight in Afghanistan. That's because Canadian casualties are mounting in Afghanistan. A military plane brings back home the latest casualties from the war. An impromptu tradition is developed in Toronto. As the hearses take the bodies on the highway leading up from the airport, people gather to honor their war dead. Despite paying their respects, most Canadians seriously question the validity of the military role in Afghanistan. According to a recent survey, 65% of Canadians polled want their soldiers out by the end of the formal current commitment in 2011.
We prefer to see
Parliamentarian Olivia Chow is an opposition member of the New Democratic Party. She accuses the government of forgetting the original goal of the war, established by former U.S. President Bush.
Where is Osama bin Laden? I think Mr. Bush, and then followed by the Canadians and NATO allies, are in Afghanistan really for revenge. It's not about finding Osama bin Laden. It's not about democracy or rights of women.
He's an inspirational guy.
Canadian Defence Minister Peter MacKay vehemently disagrees with Olivia Chow. He sees Jody's sacrifice as part of the price to safeguard Canadian and North American defence, especially after 9/11.
Amputee support group going and stuff, just to kind of help guide them.
It's just unbelievable. You guys are amazing. You really are.
MacKay believes Canada is contributing economic and social development to Afghanistan, development that he believes will kill the popularity of Al-Qaeda and Taliban extremism.
But it's going to take time, and things such as education, things such as building that country literally from the ground up are what will convince the people of the region that this is the path forward, and that our vested interest is only their good, their quality of life, and their ability to secure their own borders and their own sovereignty in the future. We've called upon other NATO allies to contribute what they can, and it isn't just troops, it's equipment. So generally speaking, in order for this conflict to secure the ground in Afghanistan, it's going to require all countries to dig a little deeper.
For every $10 spent, right now $9 is spent on armaments, on search and kill mission, and $1 in development. It's time that it's completely reversed.
For Jody Middich, those arguments are merely theoretical. Sergeant Alana Gilmore first met Jody on the battlefield. She was the combat medic that initially saved him. Months later, Alana visited Jody in rehab back in Canada. Their relationship developed. They married and now have Ella.
Pretty happy about it, actually.
For Jody and I, we're very connected because we're part of that same time frame. You don't have to say too much to know that the person that's next to you understands what you've been through and what you've seen and witnessed. But unless you've put your foot down on that ground and you've seen the landscape and you've seen what we've been doing over there, it's hard to have an opinion. You know, schools are going up, information's getting out, and just from a medical perspective, female rights, you know, everything's improving over there, but we're starting from scratch. So it's not going to happen in short term.
For World Focus, this is Martin Himmel in Petawawa.